So my involvement in the CIFIX project is to identify when fishing is occurring, so fishing activities and their associated drivers. And I mean, Kyla just went through this a bit, but basically I'm trying to record different information on deck layouts to try to get different fishing behaviors. So for example, when is the vessel steaming, when are you hauling, when is gear being deployed, if you're going for handline fishing for bait, things like that, and also how catch is processed and stored. I'll be recording also type and quantity of gear, information on equipment and crew. So if you have sonars on your vessels, or if you have, last week a fisherman had a 3D bottom scanner, so that was amazing. And I would also be recording positional information, so GPS points for the whole trip, but also I would mark the time when different events are occurring, like when is a krill being deployed, when the krills are being hauled, when the krills are being redeployed. And I will also be asking skippers about their decisions on how, where, and when to fish. And I'll explain a bit more about that. Okay, so how will this information be used? So first of all, to develop vessel activity profiles. For example, when are you steaming, when are you shooting, when is holding, when redeploying. And in that figure, you can see, for example, are those patterns depicting fishing activities? Was that hauling? Was that retrieving gear? We've been using a rough indicator of speed to try to understand where fishing occurs, but it varies according to vessel size, skipper experience, and different other things. So we want to get a more accurate description of that. And these, together with additional sensor data, for example, hydraulic sensors, and Grant talk a bit about the information they can collect, will give us better information on, for example, most important fishing grounds. So why investigate this? So we want to accurately chart where fishing is taking place to allow an evidence base to be developed, right? And this can be used by industry to defend their access rights within the scope of marine spatial planning. So there are several uses, different uses in an area. It can be for conservation, for energy, shipping, aquaculture. We want to add inshore fishing to that for marine spatial planning. And if this is tied to landings data, then we can also start giving a monetary value to a given area for the fishermen to demonstrate their business dependence on an actual location. We also want to understand a bit more about fleet behavior. So which factors are the most important affecting the behavior of the fleet? Is it weather? What happens if fuel price increases? If catch price increases, are you more likely to go out fishing or not? If there's a new MPA in an area, and hopefully these factors will help us identify what is the most important thing influencing fishing activity in different regions. And why do we want to know that? Because we want to start exploring how different factors such as climate change, for example, or new legislation might impact the inshore industry. So if there's changes in wind speeds in some directions, or the frequency of storms are changing, we may start to build information as to what will that mean for the inshore fishing sector. Also, to inform, the ability to inform on these impacts of economic or climate or legislative change will allow for regulators, legislators, and the industry itself to preemptively buffer these effects, so increasing resilience in the sector. And the capacity to model these potential outcomes of policy change and the setting of, for example, MPAs will influence future fisheries management and marine planning decisions, and hopefully lessen the impact on this on inshore fishermen. So again, just to wrap it up, we're looking for industry to participate in this work package as well. More than 105 vessels will be approached through Kyla and other facilitators, and basically it means a day in the sea on your vessel from a researcher, and we will also during that day talk to you about what you think is important and what factors would you like us to explore the most. And I'm talking about what if questions, so if you have any what if question, like what would happen if this happens in the future, or if this set of legislation, we want to identify the most important questions that industry has so that we can start developing answers for that. So, yeah, thank you very much.